Hi guys, Debbie here. Welcome to my channel and to today's video. So before I get started, I've clearly done something to my hair. Hope you like it. It's a little bit pinker than I wanted at the roots. I wanted kind of like a really blondie baby pink running through it, but I've been assured it will fade really quickly and hopefully it'll give me the look I'm looking for. But I'm going to rock the pink for this video because it is the last one in the series that I'm doing with the Alyssa Edwards and Anastasia palette. I think I've got a bit of a clash with this hair and this palette actually. It's more purpley pink than my hair. So yeah, I'm only wearing any green shadow this week, I don't think. But there's no green in this one. Although I did make one in one of my previous videos and I'll link that up in the cards in case you want to watch it. But this is day 5 with the palette of my series. It's the last one, as I say, and I'm going to be using, clearly, the pinks. So I'm going to definitely be using the matte pink that's in here, which is Texas made. I've not really used that, I don't think, in any of the looks so far, so I want to use that. I want to use the black beast because I've only very barely touched into that. And I want to use the white headliner. Other than that, oh, and the purple, which is DDC. I've only barely touched that as well. So they're kind of my colours that I'm going to be going for. So I wanted to make sure that I've tested and used every shade in this palette so that I can give you a roundup at the end and really know the palette and, you know, what my full thoughts are on it by the end of this video. So that's what I intend to do. So without further ado, I will scoot you in and we will get started. Okay, so I've scooched you in so that I can not have to keep pushing my hair back, so I'm not used to having it straight. I'm going to push it back in a band and you can see just how pink it is at the roots, but hopefully that will settle very soon because pink fades really quickly. So I hear, I hope. So let's get started then. So I've already primed the upper part of my lids using the matte Painterly paint pot, and I'm going to go in with the jumbo pencil in milk just to prime my lid space, or mainly focusing that on the sort of centre to middle part of my lid. Okay, so that's my eyes primed and blended out, and I'm not going to set them. I'm just going to go straight in with the shadows, I think, today, because I do want to pack that white over the white base, so I think a tackier base will help that to stick. So I'm going to start by building a bit of dimension in my outer corners with the black. I'm going to use my lip brush from Urban Decay to do that, and I'm just gently dipping in there. I don't want too much pigment to start off. Don't see too many people ever start their looks in the outer corner, but that's what we're going to do today. I'm almost going to create a bit of a shadow wing, and we'll probably need to go over that at some point during the look, but I just wanted to lay that down so that I can see what lid space I've got left to fill in the other shades, really. And I don't want to drag the black too high into the rest of the look and darken everything up too much. It's an easy to work with black. It's pigmented, but it's not crazy pigmented, and there's little to no fallout as well, which is good. Okay, so I've built the shape. I'm just trying to make sure I've got it kind of symmetrical with the other side. But it's good enough for now because I can always change that as I go along. I'm also going to take some of that onto my lower lash line to meet up with what I've created there. I'm only taking that to about the middle because I don't want to close my eye shape in too much. So we can always intensify that afterwards, but that's kind of the the basic shape down now. So next then I want to create some definition in my crease using Texas Made, so the bubblegummy pink shade there. I'm going to use a pink fluffy brush for this. I think this is going to be the sort of colour that might stain. But there's little to no kick up in the pan, so that's good. Ooh, look at that shade. That's a beautiful shade. So I'm just going to take that from inner to outer and not bring it down too low, so keeping it in my higher area of my crease. And kind of meeting with that shadow wing. I don't want to blend it into that shadow wing as such, because I still want that to be a thing. I'm going to look like a pink Barbie by the time I'm finished, I think. It's a gorgeous pink. It reminds me, it doesn't look like it in the pan, but it reminds me of Star Power by Jeffree Star from the Beauty Killer palette, if any of you are familiar with that. The sort of intensity and the colour, very similar shade. Okay, so we've got quite a nice wash of colour going on there. Now I'm just taking a brush with no product just to blend at the top of my brows there. And then I want to intensify that black. I've swapped to the Morphe E36, so just a fluffy sort of pencil brush just to fill in that shadow wing a bit more. This side's giving me trouble, it's being pesky. I'm trying to get it to look the same as that one, which I quite like the shape of, and this one's not quite the same shape. I'm trying to angle it up just slightly. Okay, now, and on where I've put the white area, I'm going to fill that in with the white shadow. I'm going to pat that on with the Moon Dust brush from Urban Decay. And just literally use packing motions to pat that on. I'm avoiding going over that shadow wing, so I'm just keeping that above that and a little bit above my natural crease line there, so it almost looks like a cut crease, but then it's blending into that shadow. It's a very pigmented white, it's quite impressive. Okay, I'm just going to flip the brush over, and then I'm going to go into the shade Unicorn Tribe, which is that one. And where sort of the white is meeting that pink, I just want to just darken that off a little bit there. So I'm just pretty much filling in that little triangle between the shadow wing and where I've laid down the white and the pink. It's just a slightly deeper pink really. And then back in with the white just to kind of mesh those two together a little bit. Just patting motions just to mesh those in. I think what I will do is tip that on its edge. It's going to Texas Made, so the original colour that we started with. Just make sure that none of that white in the crease is there, so just erase that with that pink. There we go. And the brush we use with no additional product, I'm just going to just make sure everything's as blended as I can without muddying them up to be a really pale pink. Okay, so that's kind of what we've got so far. So I want to bring in the shade DDC, and I'm going to use that on my lower lash line. So I'll pick some of that up and I'm just going to spray it with Fix Plus. And that's going to go in that area there. Just meshing that into the black. Okay, so that's pretty much what we have so far. So I'm going to hop off camera and do mascara and a liner for my waterline. I think I'll just go with Heartless by Urban Decay. I'll show you that when I hop back off on camera, but it's just a pale pastel-y pink. And I'll choose a lip for the look and I'll be back with you. Okay guys, so here's the finished look. So which one was your favourite of the week if you've seen all of them? I think I've got to say this one for me. I really like the pink and the purple playing off together, and I just feel a little bit daring in it, and it's just something completely different. So I've paired it with this lipstick, which is a Steady Kiss by Kat Von D. It's called Lullaby. It's kind of like a pinky purple. It's got a little bit of metallic in it, but not too much. Just thought it picked up on the pinky purple vibes we've got going on. So yeah, so that's today. So that's the last one I'm going to do with the palette for now. I'll put it into my rotation. I'm going to use it probably in conjunction with the Riviera palette. So I'm going to just run through my thoughts on this one, and then I'm going to swatch out both palettes so that you can see the colours next to another on my arm, and then I'll just insert the picture of the swatches because I'm not great at swatching as I go, but so that I can show you, because they're completely different palettes in my eyes. They'll complement each other well, but they're so different. And actually this one is my favourite of the two, I have to say. There's more mattes in it. The colours really are quite special. There's a beautiful purple, that's a good purple, that's pigmented, blendable. The blue's gorgeous. The yellow really showed up in the look that I did with the yellow and blue, where I kind of mixed it and made the green. I think that was day 3. That really worked quite well. I love the shimmers, all 3 of them. The purple I've got on my lower lash line now. That gorgeous pink that I used in the neutral look that I did yesterday, and also that caramelly lid shade that I used in that same look would Inspire. They're all beautiful. But you've got some neutral colours, deepening shades. So you've got a deepening brown and black. You've got a really pigmented white. I mean, I have packed that over the Jumbo Pencil in Milk, which is a white eye pencil, and it's a sticky base, so it does adhere, but you know, that is showing up super impactful. It's as good, if not better, than Taco by Sugar Pill, and that's saying a lot because that is a fantastic white shadow and one of my favourites. So I've nothing bad to say about the palette, other than I did have a few patchiness issues with Dream It, so the blue. It only happened on one eye, and I think it was more my technique than anything. But it just pointed out to you because I just couldn't get it to stick on one eye, and I did try everything to try and make that work, so I did struggle a bit there. But I think playing about with what base you put these down on is crucial. So if you want to use packing motions and you want the colours to show up super vivid like they are on my eyes now, then a white tacky base like the Jumbo Pencil in Milk will work well. If you're wanting to be able to blend the shades out to a more blended look, then setting your base will work, because these are ultra pigmented, so they will blend over powder base. You don't need to go straight in on an unset base to get them to show up super vivid, so you could do that. I think if you've got better blending skills than I do, then you can probably go in on a unset base like the MAC Painterly Paint Pot or any other eyeshadow primer that you use that you don't set. You know, there's so many ways to use this palette, and I've only like really scratched the surface of the looks that you could do with these 5 days. So really happy I bought it, as you can probably tell. I nearly didn't, because I thought I got the Riviera and I bought so much eyeshadow, do I need it? But I like having the neutrals and the colour all in one. To make it my perfect palette, it would have had a green as well, but then everyone would have said it's a rainbow palette and we don't need a rainbow palette, because that's what people say whenever they see a rainbow colour of shade. So I think the colours that are in the palette are super impactful, really beautiful tones. If you love pinks, if you love blues and purples, you're going to love it. But if you want to be able to, say, take that away with you and do some neutral kind of looks, you know, and not be tied to doing way out kind of things like this, and you've got everything you want in one palette pretty much. So yeah, I love it. I think it's one of the best Anastasia palettes ever, and there's not too much fallout. It's not subculture kind of formula, which I love that palette and the colours in that palette, but I bought one of the originals. It is super powdery. I think they're better now. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. So I'm just going to go away and swatch both of the palettes side by side, and then I'll come back and I'll attempt to show you with my terrible swatches what the two look like side by side if you're interested to see that. Okay, so here's the swatches. So can't get them all in on the screen, I don't think. So on this side here, going that way, is the Riviera palette, and then this side is the Alyssa Edwards palette, and there are lots of similarities, as you can see, but if I pull them out side by side, I think that might be better, and hold them up so that you can see them. So with the Alyssa Edwards, you've only got 3 shimmers. So you've got DDC, the purple, you've got Beyond, the pink there, and you've got Inspire, that caramelly one. With the Riviera palette, you've got 6 shimmers. The shade Yacht is quite similar to Inspire, but then all of those shimmers are completely different. So Seychelles, Palermo, Seaside, Inheritance and Mediterranean, they're all completely different to anything that's in this palette and the shimmer. And then obviously in this palette you don't have a blue, you've got a blue and a black that you don't have in the Alyssa Edwards. So you've got those 3 in the Alyssa Edwards. The browns are quite similar, so I would say Back Rolls and Palm, very similar tone to one another. I would say it's slightly darker in the Alyssa Edwards. Bahamas and Texas Made are quite similar shades when they're swatched out. Sorry. I'd say Texas Made is a little bit more of an orange toned pink, and that one's a bit more of a bubblegum pink, but they are pretty similar. The whites are of the same quality. You haven't got shades like that so much in the palette, so that those tones are different to say those. So there's lots of similarities, but there's also lots of differences. So I think they complement really well, because where you've got the mattes, like the matte purple, the matte blue, etc., I think they would go beautiful with some of these shades. So comment down below if you'd like to see me do that, if you'd like to see me pull these 2 palettes together to make a look, or I'd be hesitant to do a palette bingo, because I think what would happen, knowing my luck, is that I'd get all of the neutrals from both palettes. So I think I'd rather sort of pull in the colours that I want to pull in, but sort of show you how you could combine the mattes from this with the shimmers from that, and you know, if you have got them both, how you could play them off together. So let me know if you'd like to see that. I've not used the Riviera hardly at all. I think I did a first impressions with it, and I've not really played with it, and it was because although it's got a purple matte and it's got a pink matte in it, they were really the only ones that spoke to me, whereas with the Alyssa Edwards there's lots of colourful mattes. But I think having them together will, you know, the Alyssa Edwards I'm going to use loads, but then I've got sort of a double whammy, because I can start bringing in some beautiful shimmers from the Riviera as well. So I'm not sad I've got them both. Don't want to encourage you to be buying makeup you don't need, but if you're interested in picking up the Alyssa Edwards and you've got the Riviera, I think they will pair really well together, as I say. So I really hope you enjoyed the series, guys. It's been quite a lot of work to bring it together in a short space of time for me. I've made quite a few sacrifices in my personal life to pull it together. So I hope it's been useful, I really do. And thank you so much for all of the love that I've had in the series, all the comments of you saying that you're going to recreate the looks. If you do that, I'd love to see. If you want to tag me on Instagram, that would be amazing. I'm so interested to see, and I'd be so flattered if anybody decides to recreate them. But let me know as well which was your favourite out of the 5, and I'll link them all in some way in this video, either on the last page or in the card, so that you can see them all quite easily. But they'll all be there, the most recent ones that I've done, apart from my Throwback Thursday. So that's all I've got time for today with you, but I really hope you've enjoyed it. And as I say, next week I'll be doing something entirely different. I'm going to mix it up, and I've got a new palette to play with, and it's drugstore. So I'm not going to play with it all week, but I'm going to probably be doing that probably Tuesday. I might take the day off tomorrow. So catch you on Tuesday, guys, and I hope you're having a lovely evening or day wherever you are. Bye.